Let's take a look at tail of the tape, and 4 years separates the two men. Blake Minto, the younger. Height and reach advantage most certainly in favour of Steve Gago. 13-centimetre reach advantage. Wow, that's a lot to handle in the welterweight division. 10 3-minute rounds are in front of us. The WBA Australasian title.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one, Andy. This is probably the matchup for me of the whole night. Is really good fighters, obviously clashing styles. The machine, Blake Minto, just usually comes forward. He's got no reverse gear. He just comes forward and comes forward. Whereas Gago, he can mix it up a bit. He can punch and he can box. So it'll be interesting to see which stance he takes here tonight.
Minto on the front foot, going to the body a lot early in round number one. Trying to break down the guard, that's what it's about. Go to the ribs, go to the stomach. Wind your opponent, but ultimately you're hoping to drop their defensive guard so their elbows are protecting their ribs, and as a result the hands drop below the chin line. Then you change your levels and it's game on. A lot of inside work. Gary Ingram is our referee. He may well be required several times over the next half an hour because we've got two guys fighting on the inside. We've also got a right-hander versus a left-hander.
Correct, yeah.
At times it can get super, super messy. Yeah, it certainly does, Brett. It certainly does. We see it regularly on the Premier Boxing Series. Into the corner goes Gago. Minto was hoping to open up then, but wasn't given an opportunity. He plays the spoiler well, does Blake Minto.
He usually crowds the style of his opponent and gets right up in their face, and he's trying to do that again here tonight. But I mean, obviously Steve Gago is an experienced customer. I think his only 2 losses have come to undefeated fighters at the time, and one of them now being the current IBF super lightweight champion Liam Paro. So he's been in there with the very best Steve Gago, so he knows his way around the ring.
Yeah, he certainly has. Regional title holder previously. That's where it gets a little ugly. And they come in and lock up. Gago looks comfortable with the right-hander, as you would expect, but Minto, he also looks comfortable with the southpaw.
Yeah, very experienced customers, like I said, both boys. They've been there, done that many times, and tonight's no different. As we see some highlights of that first round, it was a big swing and a miss from Blake Minto. Usually starts fast, and he did. But he's got an experienced customer in Steve Gago in front of him tonight. He's very calculated and can mix it up, like I said. He can box and he can punch a bit. Steve Gago, out of his 14 wins, half of them have come by knockout, so he's got some power in his punch as well.
Here we go, round number 2. The WBC Australasian welterweight title. 10 3-minute rounds is the journey. It is Steve Gago in the white trunks, Blake Minto in the black.
And Minto's probably a guy that's known for fighting the best in the country, Andy. Always, you know, willing to test himself. He doesn't get the decision all the time, but he's always rarely in a bad fight. You know, throughout his career, he's fought the likes of Jacob Ng, Justin Frost, Dara Foley, John Manu, and a very good Ukrainian fighter as well in Karen Chukay. hard to say, Chakachian.
Easy for you to say.
Very easy, but he's just lost to Boots Ennis. So,
yep.
I mean, that's the sort of level that he's been fighting at.
Early in his career, he fought guys like Anthony Brownlee and Matt Litwinenko. So he's certainly been in with some of the top guys in the industry domestically. $15 wins,
good
4
shot
by
there.
knockout. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, a really good shot there from Gago. His power hand scored. And it rocked Minto there for a split second.
Predictions for this one, a lot of people saying, yeah, it's going to be ugly, but yeah, it's going to go the distance and it'll end up a pretty good old stink.
Yeah, well, Minto's tough, we know that. I mean, never in a dull fight, like I said. As you can see, usually likes to fight on the chest of his opponent, and you can see wailing away here while Gago's back is to the ropes.
Just me, or is it everyone else? Do you get uncomfortable when those big body shots echo around a stadium? You just got an appreciation for how tough these dudes really are. They don't have the same type of protection that I've got around my waist.
A bit of extra padding.
Yeah, a lot of extra padding. But they rip to the body, and all that conditioning just, it's required to keep them on their feet. What I've noticed here, probably more than I've seen before with Blake Minto, is a variation of punches.
Yep.
If there's a knock on him, maybe it has been in the past a little one-dimensional.
Yep.
I don't see that here tonight. He's coming forward with some good shots. He walked into a nice uppercut there. He's coming forward from some different angles, throwing some different shots.
And make no mistake, Andy, he's coming in as the underdog here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Gago is probably the red-hot favourite, but let me tell you, Minto has come here to win, because you can see he's not worried to mix it up and march forward. So this will be an interesting contest right to the final bell, I think. As we see some replays of that second round. An exciting one for the machine. Blake Minto, as he let his hands go. Gago happy to be passive throughout part of that round. But when Minto's comfortable, he's dangerous. So you can't let him get too comfortable, Gago. Otherwise, he'll be in for a long night. Good uppercut in close there from Gago.
We go round number 3. Both boys look particularly fresh. Well conditioned, that's why. So a credit to their corners and their time and energy you've put in the gym or on the road. The boxing these days is so much more than just a 5 a.m. road run and an hour in the gym, perfecting your art at night. There are so many different elements that go into making a boxer A, competitive, and then B, elite. Ugly on the inside.
Good jabs there from Gago.
Yeah. He was able to snap a couple of jabs there before Blake Minto was able to even think about counter-punching. Big shout out to Oxworks. And of course, West Australian State Government through Tourism Western Australia. Discover Western Australia. Build your dream itinerary at westaustralia.com/itineraries. Wonderful things to do over here in the West. Keep you occupied for weeks.
It's good power handing close there from Gago, just snapping over that left hand. Minto, the machine, just keeps on working, just like his name says.
I get the feeling already early in this fight we could see reasonably widespread on the judges' scorecard. We've said that a couple of times tonight, and right a couple of times tonight as well.
Both boys, you can see their experience. They know how to grapple in close. Disguising it well was Gago there. He was in close and he was holding one arm of Minto on the opposite side of the referee, so he was getting away with it. Just little tricks of the trade.
It's only breaking the rules when you get caught.
Exactly right.
Body shot from Minto on the hands are now down of Gago. So you just know those body shots are starting to take its toll.
Yeah, a few markings on the face of Gago as well. He's obviously had some success upstairs as well as Blake Minto. He's throwing lots of punches once again, as he usually does. But I thought he'd be a little bit more conservative, having such a cool customer and Gago in front of him. But it hasn't been the case as he starts to really come home in these final seconds of that round. Another good round there from Blake Minto.
Just looking at Gago walk back to the corner, and he was hunching a little bit over that midsection, the ribs, they're stinging.
There's a good round 3 for Blake Minto as he kept the pressure on. Plenty of punches. The output was massive once again from Minto, like we always expect and we get from Minto. And like you said, potentially Gago at the end of that round starting to feel the pinch already.
Yeah, most certainly. Here we go, round number 4. 10-rounder here in our semi-main event. Up next, Alex Winwood, fighting for the WBA minimum weight super title. What an opportunity that is for a young man in just fight number 5.
That was better work from Gago.
Yeah.
Scoring with 2 power hands. And there's the reversal there from the machine, Blake Minto, turning his opponent and getting his back to the ropes.
And again going to work the body. Nice little doubling of the left there from Gago, and he was forced to do it from a negative position.
There's better work from Minto as well. Investing in the body and finishing upstairs.
Getting the left hand from Gago. Oh, these body shots are brutal from Minto.
He's starting to feel the pinch. I think you're right, Andy. He's starting to hunch over a little bit more. His stance doesn't look comfortable, that's for sure.
We can currently taste his liver and his kidneys in his throat as a result of these body shots.
It's a good turn and created a different angle there. Did Blake Minto, and coming back with his own set of shots there as he starts storming back on now.
Oh.
Minto, he's having a lot of success here. He's just a sitting target at the moment, is Steve Gago. He's just letting him tee off.
Inside, within the grapple.
And this is where he's won the contest so far, I think. The inside work's been better from Minto. He's been working in close. He hasn't been losing that opportunity.
Banging away. The longer the fight goes, the less distance between the two guys. Oh, that's terrific from Blake Minto. That is elite level boxing.
I'll tell you what, he's starting to really feel the pinch here as Gago. He does not look comfortable, and he hasn't for a couple of rounds now. Another right hand scoring on the back foot from Minto. Oh, good shot there from Gago over the top. A hook, right hook over the top.
Used his lead hand, which he hasn't done a lot of.
Oh, and two good shots there from Minto to finish off the round. He's working hard, is Blake Minto, and it's paying dividends so far, or at least in our eyes anyway, as we head into round 5. Round 4 was another good one for the man out of the red corner. Gago very, very willing though. The crafty of the two boxers, no doubt. But the output has come from the machine, Blake Minto, and so far paying dividends. Good variation of shots to the body and to the head. You can see trying to drop the guard of Gago so he can finish up top with a hook. And sometime is plain success, as is right there, that right hand scoring, and there's another one just to finish off the round.
Here we go, bout number 6, round number 5, our semi-main event in front of what is still a growing crowd here at HBF Stadium. Terrific crowd, as a matter of fact. Well done to all involved. The local promotion has been exceptional. For those of you that haven't been able to make the journey, we hope you're enjoying the coverage right here on 7+. Next Saturday night, we're back again with an Australian title fight. Dan Hill, Lewis Chadwick, potentially fight of the year. They're different guys, they're different boxers. They're both entertainers, both terrific to watch. And I reckon it's a beauty, Nath, I really do.
And two good blokes as well.
Yep.
So good, so great for the sport. Like you said, they show that sportsmanship, but they also show that character outside the ring. Obviously, they've given each other a bit of slack online, which is great. It's just adding to the atmosphere of that night, and I believe it'll be the contest of 2024.
Middle minute of round 5 on Minto. Beautiful. One point. That's a big one, but I think the right call from Gary Ingram, the referee. Guy with a lot of respect from the athletes and the corners. Well, it's been around, my opinion, one of the leading judges / referees in Australia. Minto again looking for the body.
Just the output is double from Minto. That's going to be a telling factor, I think, in this contest. Better
close.
Yeah, better shots in close there from Gago. But there it is, once again, Minto creating that different angle and then coming off with his own set of shots. He's doing that really well tonight. That's something he's added to his string of bow. I think he's just, it used to be always just very one-dimensional, come in like a train on a track, but all of a sudden now he's coming in on different angles and making it a little bit harder for their opponent to pick where he's coming from.
It's certainly an improved version of Blake Minto tonight. Good on him. Good on him for working on things and continuing the improvement. And this is 24th pro outing.
Good shots once again in close there from Minto. He's starting to feel the pinch here, Steve Gago. A good couple of shots to close out the round from Gago, but mouth wide open, really starting to feel the pinch. These body shots obviously taking a toll. As we see some replays of that 5th round. It's an exciting one once again. The output came from that man in the black trunks, Blake Minto, pouring it on as he always does. A couple of shots in close there from Gago, but just the output is not enough to match the engine.
He does look really awkward and in pain in the corner. With Steve Gago hunched over a bit. Blake Minto there on screen, bolt upright, all ears, deep press. Looks fresh.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Not so our man Stevie right there.
Yeah, he's in a world of hurt, I think. He's just he's definitely out of his comfort zone.
The tough units rip back into it for the second half of this fight.
There's a good shot in close there from Gago, just catching him with the uppercut when he came in. But Minto, true to his form, back on.
There we go, there's the body shot. Plant your opponent against the ropes. Start changing your angles and rip into the body where you can. Caught in that awkward position in the middle. Gago, who we saw had a point deducted last round for holding, was holding on the blind side from the referee there. He couldn't see it, Gary Ingram. They're asking Steve Gago just to increase his output, but more importantly, they want him to go first. They want him to be punching first, not counter-punching. That's nice.
Certainly. Yeah, and that's what he needs to do.
They don't leave it to the judges. Complete dominance will take it out of their hand. That's nice from Steve Gago.
Yeah, two good uppercuts there from Gago. Potentially getting his second wind here because that was just two good shots, probably the best of his contest so far.
Over the top of the left shoulder went Gago. Yeah, both guys really battling with fatigue. No surprise whatsoever. They're in terrific shape, both of them. But this has been full on in terms of pace since 5 seconds into round number one.
Well, one's giving it and one's copping it. Yeah. So they're both exhausted for different reasons, potentially. Oh, good two shots there from Blake Minto in close. That uppercut landing and landing well.
Walked into a couple there just as we thought Gago was getting that second wind and maybe a little bit of optimism. Almost ended up in our lap there. Thankfully they didn't. That's why there's 4 ropes on a boxing ring and 3 on a wrestling. Keep these big boys in there. Going over the top there. Wanting just to take a little bit more gas out of the tank as Blake Minto, right hand over the top.
Yeah. Last punch of the fight, or the round I should say, and it scored there for Blake Minto as a chopping right hand over the top. And once again, Gago in the corner looking really uncomfortable, mouth wide open, gasping for air. As we see some replays of that previous round. Gago had moments, don't get me wrong. He's fighting in spurts, but the spurts aren't enough in my eyes because his opponent's fighting for 2 minutes 50, whereas he's fighting for 10.
Round number 7. Steve Gago, Blake Minto for the WBC Australasian Welterweight Championship. 10-round fight. Gary Ingram is the referee. It's Gago in the white.
It's a better turn there from Gago. Yeah. That's where he wants to be. He's the better boxer of the two. He wants to be centre ring. easier said than done when you've got somebody like Minto in front of you that just tries to bully you to the corners and back to the ropes.
And he does. He bullies you just through continual pressure. Blake Minto, the last round and a half, largely went away from those body shots. And I don't know whether it's a game plan thing or just how it has panned out. But I thought the body shots were working a treat and really cutting down Stevie Gago.
Good
Nice.
uppercut in close from Gago. That's better.
Sneaky little left hand as well. Second uppercut. Calls from the blue corner. They're talking about the bad shoulder of Blake Minto. So they know something we don't know, but they're saying, get into it.
Certainly be the punch for him, Gago. That uppercut has landed a couple of times for him.
What can he do here as they look to separate? And they did eventually.
Clubbing to the back of the head there, Minto getting away with it.
Heads banging together on the inside. Minto now bleeding from the nose. Certainly no surprise. Probably would have been a couple of uppercuts a little earlier in the eighth.
Yeah, I agree.
Just a bit of a lull in this contest at the moment. Both guys battling under fatigue, looking for that second or third win.
Yeah, I
Probably
agree.
on their fourth.
Well, he's probably taken the foot off the accelerator a little bit, Blake Minto. That's why. That's why the round sort of, or the gas has gone out of the round, that's for sure. But Gago, he needs to press the accelerator and keep it down, because I think Minto's stored a lot of these early rounds.
Pushing across, throwing out that lead right hand. Body shot there from Gago. A right cross from Blake Minto. Last couple of seconds of round number 7. 9 minutes to go in this one. Has the fight been won, or is it a defining 5 minutes?
See some replays here of that 7th round. It was a bit of a mixed one for me. The output wasn't as high for Minto, so that brought Gago into that round at times. Still plenty of output, don't get me wrong, just nothing compared to what we're used to in the previous rounds for Minto. A little bit of dirty tactics there, center ring, getting away with it. Referee letting things go, which is great for the spectators.
Round number 8 coming away live on 7+. Hope you're enjoying the night. Don't forget, we're back next Saturday night. And we are coming to you from Brisbane. The Australian title match is the main event, a cracking undercard. And a boxing night not to be missed, one for the purists and the casual fans as well. There will be talking points aplenty out of next Saturday night, that I can guarantee you.
Yeah, Gago starting this round quite well, scoring with a couple of shots, scoring with a couple of power hands. And just as I say that, there's a turn and Minto's back on.
Our referee having a real good little look at this. Just about to separate the two boys, but they've handled it pretty well themselves. You know, tangling with the front leg and the front arm, the occasional head clash. Gago not being able to afford himself the space that he needs because of the constant pressure from Minto.
And that's exactly where he doesn't want to be, right in the corner with somebody like Blake Minto in front of you. Good work and close there from Gago. That's what he needs to do. He needs to bring up the uppercut after it, because that plenty of the success with that uppercut, that's probably been the punch of his fight.
Minute remaining.
Yeah, good shots there from Minto once
Round
again.
number 8.
Right, step back, step back, step back.
Minto in the black. Gago in the white. Again, locking those lead arms. Gago pushes him away. Doesn't want any part of that. Little right cross there from Gago.
Good shots.
All those body shots. He's whacking away both sides of the ribcage of Steve Gago, and they almost do-si-do in the middle of the ring. It was quite the dance. Gago spins Minto out of it. Be sore tomorrow, these two boys. The amount of body shots lends itself to a pretty average night's sleep. Now, Gago has been cut just above the right eye, and it's on the eyelid, I think. So it's in a really, really average position. They're going to have to go to work here.
We see some replays of that 8th round. The workhorse and Blake Minto. Working and working hard. Something a bit off tonight for Steve Gago. Whether it's just the pressure he can't deal with in Minto.
Agree.
But just non-stop punching from the man in the red corner. A crazy work rate. And it's been going for 8 rounds now.
Back into it, round number 9. Now penultimate round, a 10-rounder for the WBC Australasian welterweight title. Again, this takes the winner to another level moving into 2025. Nath, for the loser, though, it's going to drop you back and significantly down the pecking order.
And don't be surprised if it's career ending, because both boys are a little bit long in the tooth now. You know, had plenty of hard fights, both boys. So, you know, there's a potential that this might be the last fight for the loser. But for the winner, like you said, it's a second chance draw, and you're back into the ratings, and you're one step closer to realising your dream. So there's plenty at stake here tonight.
Nice turn from Gago. Wasn't able to do anything with it, though. The lockup was pretty quick from Minto. Got word there's a lot of interest in some of tonight's fights on Facebook. And considering the time differences across Australia, I dare say there will be a lot of interest until the wee hours. Some of boxing's finest do their finest social media work after hours too. Going to the body, Minto. They've locked arms on this near side. That's their lead arm, their jab arms. Just when you think you're able to push Blake Minto away, and it's what we've seen from Blake in the past, he just shuffles back into your face.
Yeah, he's just so fit, isn't he? Like, he's just continually throwing punches. And what they're doing right now, that zaps more energy than anything. Tussling, grappling.
Oh, yeah.
That just zaps your energy. But look at him. He's been doing it all night and been punching all night, but he's still coming forward. Good uppercut once again from Gago. Definitely the punch of his fight is that uppercut. I reckon it's landed about 6 times throughout the duration of this contest. And really the only thing that's really shocked Minto throughout this contest from Gago.
Yeah, an absolute beauty it was. And connects with probably 30 seconds remaining in the round. Blake going back to the body, the machine. And we have got 3 minutes remaining. 1 round left to determine the WBC Australasian welterweight champion.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the regional title, Blake Minto. He's held regional honours before. He's also held the very low-tier world title, WBF title. Back in the day, I think it was 2018, but he's certainly no stranger of winning a title, that's for sure. And he's been around the block a few times as Blake Minto, so he wants to capture one more as we see some replays of that second last round, round 9. It was a cracking uppercut scoring once again from Steve Gago.
10th and final round, the boys touch him up. Been fought in great spirit, has been absolutely non-stop. I don't know what the judges are thinking. I really don't. You don't want to leave it to them. From where I sit, it's comfortable for Blake Minto. But after that last fight, I'm not saying that with any great deal of confidence.
I'm with you, Andy.
Minto with the hands up nice and high.
Oh, good shot.
Wow, and he needs it because Gago has launched himself in. Yeah. Gago able to do that from a distance too, Nate.
Sensational. And he broke the distance, and look, it paid reward straight away. Came in with that big chopping left hand, and he's got power, like I said. Out of his 14 wins, half of them have been by knockout, so he's definitely holds power, Steve Gago.
It's been a perfect game plan for Brian Minto, and the fact Gago taller, longer.
Yep.
And Minto's gone, okay, well, I'm going to take those 2 stats completely out of the equation. I'm just going to jump on your chest.
Exactly. And it's a perfect game plan. And by jumping on the chest, there's only one way of doing it successfully, and that's through multiple punches.
Yep.
And that's what he's been able to do tonight, Blake Minto. Using his offense as his defense at times.
90 seconds remain in the 10th and final round. Once again, a big thank you to the Western Australian State Government through Tourism Western Australia. You can find Western Australia on Facebook, Insta and X, formerly known as Twitter. The handle, quite simply, at Western Australia. Countdown is on, a minute remain. Blake Minto, Steve Gago. Gary Ingraham gets in the middle of the boys. They are absolutely exhausted, and for very good reason too.
Oh, good body shot there from Minto.
Look at Gago here, really forcing his body on top of Minto, try and make him carry his weight, bullying him back, trying to push him back. Cut over the right eye now of Steve Gago. Or was that the one from earlier?
Yeah, good shot there from Gago. Straight left hand scoring. A bit of claret comes out of the nose of Blake Minto as we close out the final 10 seconds of this contest.
Good fight, tough fight. It's an exhausting fight, to be honest, with Stephen Blake. Blake Minto very confident.
That's how he should be, Andy. He's put on a clinic. He's done everything right. He had his game plan, and he stuck to it, and he's executed it.
One more fight, Alex Winwood. Thamanoon Nyatrom from Thailand, the longest reigning world champion in the WBA. Over 8 years he has held this belt. He is their super champion. What a test it is for young Alex Winwood in